Hey y'all, I'm Lynnie with Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and I'm here with a love reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements. This is just going to be a general message, but before we get to the reading here, I would like to encourage each and every one of you who have not already to go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you as a part of this growing community of sunflowers, and to all of my returning sunflowers, welcome back. I'm so happy that you are here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to read for you today. All right, so let's get into this spread here. I hope that this provides you with some sort of comfort, confirmation, or clarity. I hope that this resonates with you guys and gives you the answers that you're seeking. I feel like this is about somebody that you have been in partnership with for quite a long time. Okay, it looks like this person is in their masculine or serves as the masculine energy within your dynamic. It looks as though this person has been your rock, your partner, the person that you go to, or the person that you rely on. I feel like this is somebody who has been really, really consistent in your relationship up until something changed. And I don't mean changed in a little way, I mean changed in a huge way. What I'm seeing here is that you might have added children to your family. You might have added a little fur baby, or just something or someone that needs a lot of care and a lot of attention. You know, it could be as simple as that, like, let's say if you are really close to your family and one of your family members, like your younger brother or something, needed a place to stay, and now your younger brother lives with you and your partner. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we add somebody into our home, right? And into our kind of relationship dynamic, things will change. What I'm seeing is that this person didn't realize that things were going to change so much. If we're talking about maybe an introduction into parenthood, they didn't realize how much that was going to change your relationship between you and them. They've always wanted a family with you. They always wanted children with you. They always wanted to have this kind of dream with you. But what they did not anticipate and what they did not prepare for were the changes that were going to occur as a result of you guys either having children or creating this kind of nurturing environment for somebody outside of yourselves. Okay. And I feel like right now they might be a little bit jealous, I would say, of the person or the baby or the kids or the fur baby getting all of the love and all of the attention right now. It also created a level of responsibility within this connection that I think is slightly overwhelming for them. I think what they're missing right now, which I would say is probably common for a lot of masculine partners, especially if you guys are in corresponding bodies. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you're in the feminine and you're in a female body, a womanly body, and you've physically given birth to children. Sometimes the masculines don't quite understand how big of an undertaking that is, right? You have literally sacrificed your body, used your body to create another human life. And not only that, now the baby's here. You don't just, you don't just stop being a parent. Like, you know what I mean? There's no end. Once you get pregnant, it only gets more and more intense. You only take on more and more responsibilities. You only need to sacrifice more and more time. Once the baby is out into this world and starts to develop and becomes a child, you guys might have had children for a while, and maybe as long as you've had children, your dynamic has been a little bit dry or a little bit off. That's kind of what I'm saying, because it just seems like this person doesn't understand how you have changed so much. And even if it's not like, let's say you adopted children, or even like the example that I gave already, like, let's say you let a family member come and stay with you or something like that. It's like it's triggering this kind of very maternal aspect in you, okay, where you're probably a lot more serious, a lot less spontaneous, a lot less easygoing. They basically want you guys to get back to a time where you were having fun and it was passionate and spontaneous and, like, all of these things. But what they're not understanding is, like, maybe the masculine doesn't change, maybe their chemical and the chemical structure in their brain doesn't change. But once you become a parent, become a mom, or you're taking care of somebody or something outside of yourself, and you activate that, right? It's almost even like I'll use myself as an example. I co-parent with my daughter's father, and whenever she's with me, I feel a lot more serious. I'm a lot more vigilant. I'm a lot more observant, especially if we're out in public. I'm catering to her needs. I'm making sure that she's taken care of, right? Which is kind of this added level of responsibility because I'm a functioning adult already. I take care of my home already. I do all of these things. I take care of myself already. But once you add her into the mix, all of a sudden her priorities are my priorities. I'm making sure she's taken care of. And I'm always on go, or I'm always on the clock when it comes to her being physically in the home with me, right? And I feel like that's what they're not understanding, is that there's a different version of you that exists when you're with your children or you're with your dependents, as opposed to when you are not with them, okay? And if they really want to see you return to the version of yourself that was more fun, more free, more spontaneous, then what's going to be necessary, or what becomes necessary at this point, is them stepping up even more to take more of the responsibility off of your hands. I'm not sure if you're in this kind of somewhat dysfunctional dynamic where once you become a mom, or once you have dependents, once you add that to your relationship, right? The feminine all of a sudden becomes everybody's mom, not only the nurturer and the carer of the dependents, but also the nurturer and the carer of the spouse as well. A lot of times spouses underestimate the level of care and nurturing that feminines want to put into their family, but it's so nice to be able to get a little bit of that back, because it's almost like, who's taking care of you? I will say that this person loves you down. This person doesn't want anything but to be with you. They are totally committed to you. They are willing to ride this out, whether their needs are met, whether what they want happens or not. But what they aren't seeing, which I guess maybe you could fill in for, is like what you need out of this in order for them to get the version of you that they want. Okay, there's a version of you that existed. I think it is represented by this Knight of Wands here, or maybe that's who they were when they were with you, or how they felt when they were around you. This is somebody who's very passionate, very alive, very determined to get what they want out of this life and out of this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is somebody who really just goes for it. They're impulsive, and they don't really need to have a plan. All they need is the fire in their heart. And I feel like if that was how you used to be, especially, this is an Aries reading. If that's how you used to be, you're not that way anymore, because now you have responsibilities. You have things to take care of. You can't just be blowing around in the wind doing whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. You have people who depend on you and people who need things from you. It would be okay for you to take things maybe a little less seriously, to take your hands off of the wheel just a little bit. I mean, I feel like this person is coming through here as the Emperor, and this is Aries energy for sure. So you guys might both have Aries in your chart. It doesn't have to be that. I also have Aquarius and Scorpio and Pisces as well. So it doesn't have to be that they're in Aries, but I just see this person being somebody who is typically very much in control. And I feel like maybe now, I wouldn't say that they feel emasculated. I just feel like they don't feel like they're being prioritized in a sense. And I feel like they are not really understanding or acknowledging just how much you're doing, just how much you're sacrificing, just how much you are giving up for yourself, just to cater to the people around you, the people that you care about, your dependents, so on and so forth. What would create healing in this situation is just maybe having a conversation. The Ace of Swords here represents communication and clarity in that communication. I think this person just needs to know what you need from them, okay? If you are the type of feminine who, when you're in that mode, you just have to do everything. Maybe you're a little bit hyper independent. Maybe you're somebody who feels like if you don't do it, it's not going to be done right. I feel like you can trust this person. Maybe they won't do things exactly how you want them done, right? Maybe they won't do things exactly how you would do them, but they could still get done. It doesn't have to be perfect in order for it to be checked off the to-do list. You know what I'm saying? I think this person wishes that you would trust them a little bit more, give them a little more responsibility, so that the version of you that is fiery and passionate and impulsive and spontaneous could reemerge. You know what I'm saying? They, I think, have the capacity and the ability. You're with a good one. Okay. I want to say they might be a little bit selfish. They might be a little bit in their head about this, but you got a good one here. Okay. You've got a good one. And I think that maybe sometimes you want to underestimate just how much they love you and just how much they're down for you and just how much they care about you and just how much they're willing to work for you. Okay. I know that sometimes they don't do things exactly right or exactly the way that you would want them done and things like that. But this person wants to take things off your plate. Okay. Because at this point, they just don't know where to start. And maybe they've tried to help and you've kind of like pushed them back, like, no, I got it, no, I got it, no, I got it. And then like other feminines who are also mothers, what do we do? What do we do? We say, no, I got it, no, I got it, no, I got it. And then nobody helps me around here, right? That's what they don't want because they see you in that mode of nobody helps me, but they also acknowledge that they maybe have tried in the past. I think now it's not about teaching them how to be a partner. It's about letting them help in the ways that they can. Okay. I'm going to clarify here just a little bit just to see what else we can get going. We have the hangman at the center of the spread. Once again, I mentioned earlier that that was Pisces energy. Why is this energy here for Aries at this time? We have the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Swords. The Ace of Wands is an energy of anything is possible. I can do anything that I set my mind to. I'm strong, I'm ambitious, I'm motivated, highly motivated. And this is somebody who likes to take things on, who enjoys being in control in a sense, who loves, they feel empowered by the things that they can accomplish. We also have the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is somebody who's very decisive, somebody who can get things done when you need them done. What I would say here with this energy coming out is, once again, it's reiterating this idea. And this is more of a channel message, this part, than actually on the spread. It's reiterating this idea that this person feels as though you don't trust them to get things done. You don't trust them to be decisive enough. You don't trust them to take action enough. And I think that would really go a long way in healing your relationship here. Like, let's clarify this Ace of Swords for Pisces. I mean, not for Pisces, for Aries, please. Let's clarify this Ace of Swords for Aries. But they still have so much passion for you. They still have so much desire for you. They still have so much love for you. Okay. Ace of Cups coming out on the Ace of Swords. Now we got 3 aces on the board. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. The only ace that we don't have is the Ace of Pentacles, right? The tangible aspect of a new beginning, right? So basically that's suggesting to me that nothing is changing, right? Nothing is changing in your dynamic outwardly. There's nothing that you need to add or subtract. You don't need to move. You don't need to get a new car. You don't need to get a new job, and you don't need to make these kind of 3D changes. It's something internal that needs to happen. There needs to be an internal shift on both sides. With the Ace of Cups coming out with the Ace of Swords, there's so much love here. You guys love each other unconditionally. Okay. And that is not a common thing. I think you have really found somebody who's really going to be your true partner, who really loves you, really cares about you, really wants to support you. But you guys have to tap back into what connected you in the first place. It's kind of tapping back into that spark, tapping back into why you fell in love or why you grew in love in the first place, right? 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, along with the Judgment card. This is once again reiterating this idea that you don't necessarily trust this person's judgment. Maybe because they've made some mistakes in the past. Maybe once again because they don't do things exactly how you want them done. But do you want to be with somebody who does their fair share, who you make space for, so that they can step up, so that they can do what needs to be done? Or do you want to be with somebody who has their hand out just like everybody else in your house? You know what I'm saying? Who's looking for what you can do for them because they're not comfortable there. And you might even be somebody who just naturally loves taking care of people, but you do reach your breaking point sometimes. I just wish that maybe you would let this person love on you a little bit more. And I think a conversation definitely needs to be had. A conversation has to be had in order for this to move forward about how maybe exhausted one or both of you are with the current roles that you're playing, and maybe how things can be divided up in a way that feels a little bit better, feels a little bit healthier for both of you and this dynamic. I think this relationship is going to stand the test of time. I just think that the communication needs to be a little bit more emotional. You guys need to talk more about your feelings and your desires, as opposed to, okay, this needs to be done and this needs to get done, all the tangible, practical aspects of life. You guys communicate about that well enough. It's time for you to start talking about the emotional, the intangible, your thoughts, your ideas, exchanging philosophies, and reconnect to the parts of you that actually fell in love in the first place or grew in love in the first place. I'm trying to stop saying fallen in love, because that's something that I learned from Dr. Pepper, I think, from Married at First Sight. But I'm trying to start saying growing in love, right? All right. Any closing messages from this person to the Aries that I am reading for at this time? What does this person want Aries to know before we close the reading here? What does this person want Aries to know and be aware of? They love you so much. They love you so much. They would do anything for you. That's part of what they want you to know, that they love you and they would do anything for you. What does this person want Aries to know? Any closing messages for Aries here from this person? And we'll go over one more. I try to be very delicate with this deck. That's interesting. So many things remind me of you, okay? You came closer than anyone. I can't stop thinking about you. You and I were too young. And I wish things could be different. These are the two that really stand out to me. And I think that these are kind of self-explanatory based on the reading here. I think it's time for you guys to reconnect. They think about you all the time. They're still obsessed with you. They still love you very, very much. They just feel like that the spark or the fire has gone out a little bit between you guys. And I think that they're looking for a way to rekindle that. And not only that, they're looking for a way to show up for you more and support you better. Okay. This is what I have for you, Aries. I hope that this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time.